Hi there, in this video we're talking about self-tapes and showreels, one of the major ways that actors are auditioning these days, and it's a very important facet of your toolkit in terms of promoting yourself to the industry. So the difference between self-tapes, self-tests and showreels. So self-tests effectively are when you're auditioning for a film, television show or commercial, or theatre production sometimes as well, and you are required to put down your audition on a very short video and send that through to the casting director. So rather than going into the room to audition, casting directors are then able to see a lot more people because they can simply click on your showreel, your self-test, and view a lot more people than they would otherwise be able to do when they're inviting people into the room. So that's a self-test, and generally speaking it's submitted through either Casting Networks or Showcast, two of the platforms we'll talk about later, and or potentially sometimes emailed as well. Self-tapes are more promotional materials that are designed to show your acting ability and or type, but not for a specific project. So you would put down a self-tape, upload it onto Casting Networks and or Showcast or your website or Star Now or wherever it is that you're promoting yourself to the industry. And it's a short clip, a minute to 2 minutes maximum, of your acting ability, demonstrating your acting ability and the type of character or characters that you are likely to be cast in. And a show reel is a compilation of clips of actual work that you've done, whether it be student films or professional work. Ideally it's professional work, but if you don't have any of that, then student films. And sometimes people pay showreel companies to produce high quality showreel material. Well, that's not necessary really these days. And the ideal, we'll talk about the format of a showreel in just a second. So technical requirements: when you're doing a self-test or a self-tape, you don't really need any fancy equipment. Simply an iPhone is enough. Lighting, natural lighting works well. So if you can be near a window, be facing a window. Otherwise, there are quite cheap redhead and other types of lights that you can get hold of, or even a ring light if you're using an iPhone. So it doesn't have to be anything technically fancy. The background should be just a plain background, like a green or a blue screen like I'm using now, and they're not overly expensive. They can be attached to a wall or a chair, and gives you a slightly more professional kind of look when you're using a blue or green screen. If you can't access either of those, then a plain wall, clean plain wall would suffice as well. Try not to use a sheet, which usually look creased, and it's not a great look. Sound is really important. If you can get an external microphone and attach that to your camera, that would be good. A lapel mic or a shotgun mic. If not, then try and be as close to the camera as possible if you're just using your camera. And editing, there's free editing software readily available that you can use to edit your clips together. Usually the start and the ends need to be edited out, and you can cut scenes together as well. So scene selection, length, and matching clips to your type. So you want to make sure that you're choosing material that is very similar to you and your personality and the types of characters that you're likely to play. We're not really looking for Oscar-winning performances. Differentiating yourself from others based on talent and ability is a very, very difficult thing to do. What you're simply doing is giving the casting director or the director an idea of who you are, what your personality type is, and what type of characters you're likely to play. So the material itself isn't overly important. It can be from any source material, TV, film. It could either be self-devised or improvised. No one's really listening too much to the content, but it's whether you're connected to that content and that material, really listening to the other person, and being organic and truthful in the performance. Lengthwise, a self-tape usually no longer than about a minute. 2 minutes would be maximum. If you're compiling clips together, you're looking for about 30-second clips, half a dozen 30-second clips, 3-minute maximum for a show reel. And the self-test is kind of however long it really takes. When, where, and how to post and submit your materials. So self-tests, as I said before, uploaded to Casting Network Showcast, sometimes in a Dropbox or a Google file, depending on what the casting director's requirements are. Your self-tapes onto Casting Network Showcast, your personal website, maybe your Facebook page, Star Now profile, that sort of thing. And similarly with show reels as well. So that's it in a nutshell. So we can go into a lot more detail if you wish, and you can do some Google searching, and there's plenty of information around about that, whether it be the technical requirements, examples of other people's show reel material as well, and self-tape material. So hopefully that's helpful to give you a bit of a start and a bit of an understanding of what is required for self-tapes and self-tests and show reels.